Harper Blake didn't expect much to happen on her walk home from band practice, but when she saw a golden retriever limping down Redfern Road, mud-caked and trembling, she couldn't just leave him there. What she didn't know was, this wasn't just a stray. This dog had a story, one that stretched all the way to a Beverly Hills estate, and a global superstar, hiding more than just songs in her lyrics. It started with a song and a sunset. Harper Blake wasn't the kind of teen who usually made headlines. 16, introverted, and tucked in the small mountain town of Willow Creek, Oregon, Harper mostly kept to herself. She played flute in the high school band, devoured mystery novels, and had an oddly encyclopedic knowledge of Taylor Swift lyrics. Not that anyone cared, except maybe her mom. It was a Thursday in late September, the sun sitting low behind the tree line as Harper walked the last stretch of her route home from band practice. She'd taken a long way, past the creek, across the bridge, and onto Redfern Road, the one lined with abandoned sheds and forgotten farmland. That's where she saw the dog. It was the eyes that stopped her first, wide, honey brown, filled with panic and pain. The retriever limped toward her, one paw raised off the ground, for tangled with burrs and dried mud. There was something human about the way he looked at her, as if asking for help without a sound. Harper yanked out her earbuds and dropped to her knees. "Oh my God, hey there," she whispered. The dog didn't growl, didn't bark, just limped closer and collapsed at her feet. Back home, her mom nearly had a heart attack. Harper Blake, what in heaven's name? Her mother, Jo, gasped as Harper dragged the muddy retriever into the laundry room. "He was hurt, Mom. I couldn't just leave him there." Jo, a nurse who'd seen her share of emergencies, knelt down and gave the dog a once-over. The paw wasn't broken, just cut. His ribs showed slightly through his coat, and he had a few ticks and scratches, but nothing fatal. "I'll clean him up," Harper offered. "I'll take care of him until we find the owner." Jo sighed, brushing a graying curl from her face. "He's got a collar, doesn't he?" That was the odd part. The dog wore a deep green leather collar, the kind you might see in a magazine. Embossed into the leather in gold foil was just one word: Benjamin. There was no tag, no phone number, no address, just Benjamin. Harper spent the next hour washing the retriever in the bathtub, humming softly as he leaned into her touch. She could tell he wasn't just someone's pet. He was trained. He sat when she asked, stayed quiet while she bandaged his paw, and even seemed to recognize a few commands. "You're not just a dog," Harper murmured. "You're somebody's Benjamin." The next day at school, she posted flyers around town. "Lost dog found. Answers to Benjamin. Call Harper." She uploaded a few photos on Facebook and Willow Creek's local Reddit page. Her post read, "Found limping golden retriever near Redfern Road. Very calm. Well trained. Green collar, no tag. Please help me find his owner." Within an hour, the post blew up, but not for the reason she expected. "That looks like Taylor Swift's dog." Someone on Reddit dropped a comment that made her heart thump. Anyone else think this looks exactly like Taylor Swift's dog? Benjamin? Eyes." Harper laughed at first. Ridiculous. Taylor Swift's dog here in Oregon? But then a second user posted a side-by-side photo. And that's when things got weird. It was uncanny. Same breed. Same caramel fur. Same distinct eyes. Same emerald green collar. Is this even possible? Harper clicked through photos of Taylor Swift's pets online. Olivia, Meredith, and Benjamin Button. Benjamin, the golden retriever Taylor rescued from a music video set years ago. He'd become a celebrity in his own right. Instagram famous. Paparazzi captured. Loved by millions. And now he was here. "Okay," Harper muttered. "This is insane." She scrolled through the Reddit thread again. A new message popped up. User at official Swiftie News. "Hey, this might be a long shot, but Benjamin was reported missing 2 days ago. Last seen in LA security footage shows someone possibly taking him from a gated property. Fans are freaking out." Harper's stomach twisted. Was this real? Could she have just stumbled across Taylor Swift's stolen dog? That night, it rained hard in Willow Creek. Harper curled up on the couch with Benjamin snoring beside her, His paw was healing. He'd eaten 2 bowls of rice and chicken. She felt responsible, protective. Just after midnight, someone knocked on the door. Joe answered cautiously. Harper peeked from behind. A man in a black raincoat and ball cap stood on their porch, holding a laminated badge. FBI. Are you Harper Blake? Harper froze. We need to talk. About the dog. Harper thought finding Benjamin was the twist. But now the FBI was on her porch. Someone was watching her house. And the pop star whose lyrics she memorized growing up might be in danger herself. Is this a joke? The man standing on the porch didn't look like how Harper pictured an FBI agent. His jeans were faded, his ball cap slightly askew, and he had stubble like he hadn't slept in days. But the badge was real. So was the way he said her name. Agent Reeves. Special Investigations Unit. We're tracking a case involving stolen property across state lines. You might be in possession of what we're looking for. Harper's mom stiffened. She's 16. You can't just barge in. Reeves held up a hand. No barging. Just questions. About a dog. Name of Benjamin. Harper's heart pounded. She looked at the retriever curled up behind her, his head now lifted, eyes alert. Reeves followed her gaze. That him? She nodded. He exhaled, like the weight of the world left his shoulders. We've been looking for him for 3 days. At the kitchen table, Reeves unfolded the whole story. 2 days ago, Taylor Swift's Beverly Hills estate was breached. Security was bypassed. Cameras hacked. Only one thing was taken, Benjamin. Not jewelry. Not cash. Not unreleased music. Just a dog. We believe it was targeted. Reeves said. An inside job. And we think whoever took Benjamin planned to use him as leverage. Leverage for what? Harper asked. Reeves hesitated. That part is still unclear. Harper leaned in. You're saying someone kidnapped a dog for blackmail? It happens more often than you think, he replied. But it's who the dog belongs to that makes it dangerous. Taylor Swift's name isn't just famous, it's valuable. And there are people who know that. So how did Benjamin get here? That's the question no one could answer. Willow Creek was 900 miles north of Los Angeles. There was no airport nearby. No major highways through town. No one had reported suspicious travelers. Reeves pulled out his phone and showed Harper a blurry screenshot from a security feed. A shadowy figure in a hoodie tossing Benjamin into the back of a black van. We lost them after the Oregon border, he said. Then nothing. Until you. Joe crossed her arms. So what do you want from my daughter? Reeves looked Harper dead in the eye. We need you to keep this quiet. No media. No TikTok. No more Reddit. Just keep Benjamin safe while we track the people responsible. Wait. Harper blinked. You're leaving him here? Reeves nodded. You're the only one he trusts. And if word gets out he's with the FBI, we could lose the ones who took him. That night, Harper couldn't sleep. She kept replaying everything Reeves said. The breach. The blackmail. The way Benjamin had limped toward her, like he somehow knew she'd help. At 2:14 a.m., she heard a sound. A car engine idling outside. She peeked through the curtain. A black SUV. Parked across the street. No lights. No movement. Harper's blood ran cold. She stared for a long moment. Then the SUV slowly rolled away. The next morning, package arrived. No postage. No name. Just a manila envelope slid through the mail slot. Inside was a single printed photo. Harper walking Benjamin on Redfern Road. Taken from behind. Zoomed in. Grainy. And scrawled across the bottom in red Sharpie. Put him back. Harper was still reeling when her phone buzzed. A message request from an Instagram account she didn't recognize. At Tree Farmhouse Team. Hi Harper. This is May. I'm Taylor Swift's assistant. We need to talk. Privately. She almost dropped her phone. She clicked a profile, verified. Dozens of behind-the-scenes shots. Tour rehearsals. Birthday posts with Taylor herself. It was real. She accepted the message. The typing bubbles appeared instantly. May. Benjamin's microchip pinged near your town. That's how we found you. You're not in trouble. but you might be in danger. Harper typed, hands shaking. Who are these people? Why would they take him? May, we don't know. But it's not about Benjamin. It's about what he saw. Harper thought Benjamin was just a lost dog, but now she knew. He was a witness, courier, and a target, and what he carried could ruin lives. There's something in his collar. The warning photo haunted her all night. Put him back. Someone had followed her. Someone knew where she lived. And someone really wanted Benjamin gone. The next morning, Harper did something she hadn't done since she found him. She took off his collar. At first, it looked ordinary. Faded blue nylon, a small tag with B engraved. But as she ran her fingers along the inside lining, she felt it. Something hard, tucked in the stitching. She pulled at the thread, her hands trembling. Out slipped a micro SD card. What the heck? Harper had never seen a chip like this before. Not in a dog collar. She slid it into her old Chromebook and held her breath. Only one file. No name. Just a timestamp. 05_23_25_3 a.m. She clicked it. The video began with grainy, night vision footage. A room lined with bookshelves. Someone, maybe a man, stood at a desk, talking to another shadowed figure. The deal is done. We leak this, and her brand goes up in flames. She'll be too busy explaining this to care about that copyright case. Harper gasped. She knew that voice. Not from movies. Not from music. From YouTube. It was Colin Trask. Influencer. Entrepreneur. Ex-boyfriend of a Swift backup dancer. The guy who claimed Taylor ghosted him at a Grammy party. This will destroy her, the other voice said. The screen went black. Within minutes, her phone buzzed again. Etri Farmhouse team. Harper, it's May again. We got word there's movement near your house. You need to see something. Taylor wants to speak to you. Now. Harper tapped the video call link without thinking. And there she was. Taylor Swift. Sitting in what looked like a quiet studio. Glasses on, no makeup. Calm, but serious. Harper. Why, yes. Thank you for finding him. Harper's throat tightened. Why did they take him? Taylor leaned forward. They wanted to use him to deliver that footage. I didn't even know he'd been taken until it was already in motion. That video. I recognized Colin Trask. He's planning something, isn't he? Taylor nodded. We're building a legal case. He's part of a smear ring that targets high-profile women. You just found the proof we couldn't. And now they know you have it. May came on screen next. Harper, we're coordinating with Agent Reeves. But your location may be compromised. We've arranged transport to bring you and Benjamin to a secure place, tonight. Harper's mom protested at first, but after May explained the scope of the situation and how Harper had become the unwilling center of it, she agreed. The safe house wasn't far. A private cabin on the edge of Olympic National Park. No cell towers. No neighbors. No easy access. Just Harper, Benjamin, and the truth. But someone else was already there. When they pulled into the gravel drive, Harper felt the shift immediately. The cabin looked the same as the photo May sent her, except the front door was open. Reeves, who was already there, drew his weapon and signaled for silence. They entered slowly. No one inside, but in the middle of the kitchen table, someone had left a Polaroid photo. Harper asleep, last night. Benjamin curled at her feet, and underneath it, scrawled in the same red Sharpie. Last chance. Walk away. The sky was beginning to fade into dusk as Agent Reeves swept the perimeter of the cabin for a second time. Harper sat curled on the couch with Benjamin nestled against her legs, trying to shake the feeling that someone was still watching. Then she heard it. A faint whir like a bug, but not a bug. Mechanical. Repeating. Getting closer. She stepped to the window and scanned the sky. A black dot zipped between the trees. Ari? She started, but it was too late. The drone smashed through the side window. Glass scattered. A small cylindrical object dropped from its underbelly. Smoke. Thick. Acrid. Fast. Move. Reeves grabbed her, pulled her toward the back door. Out. Now. Harper coughed violently as she sprinted through the trees, clutching Benjamin's leash. Behind her, the cabin filled with smoke. A second drone hovered overhead, scanning with a red light. May's voice buzzed in her ear from the emergency earpiece. There's a side trail that loops to an access road. 3 clicks west. Run! Reeves led the way. But halfway through the woods, Harper tripped. Her phone flew from her hand and disappeared into the underbrush. Gone. No signal. No backup. No phone. And now no safe house. What the drone left behind. When the smoke finally cleared and authorities arrived, they recovered the drone's payload. It wasn't just a smoke bomb. It had a USB stick tucked beneath the canister. The authorities assumed it was more blackmail, but it wasn't. The file on the drive was labeled, her side of the story, .mov. They played it. It was a video diary, timestamped the night before Benjamin was stolen. The woman on camera was Tara Everson, Taylor's former personal stylist. She looked scared, paranoid, eyes red like she'd been crying. If you're seeing this, it means they came for me. I was part of the leak, yes, but I didn't know what they planned to do next. She named names. Colin Trask, a shell company in Cyprus, a scheme to take down multiple women in entertainment and sell scandal videos to foreign tabloids for 7 figures. And her last words? They're going to use the dog. They think it's poetic. If I disappear, find Benjamin. He's the key. Harper and Reeves didn't know any of this yet. They were running on instinct, dodging rural roads and sleeping in barns. And the whole time, Harper kept seeing it in her mind. Tara's face, the red sharpie, the drone's eye. She finally asked Reeves the question that had been burning in her for days. Why me? Why did Benjamin come to me? Reeves looked away. Because you weren't supposed to. You weren't on anyone's list. What do you mean? Tara's plan, her last one, was to release the video using a decoy. Someone off-grid, small town, no ties to anyone big. Someone like me. Reeves nodded. You weren't the plan. You were the backup. 3 days after the escape, just as Harper was starting to break down from exhaustion, the call came in. A scrambled signal. Distorted voice. The first real lead since the drone attack. My name is Dove. Tara was my sister. I've been watching from the inside. Where are you? Harper asked. Closer than you think. The voice continued. They're trying to bury everything she left behind. There's one final file, the worst of them all. It's encrypted and hidden on a ghost server tied to her work account. It proves this wasn't just about Taylor. This is international. Can you send it to us? No. I need you to retrieve it. Dove's instructions were clear. There was a storage locker, Unit 218, at a rundown facility in Yakima, Washington. Inside was an old laptop. That laptop held the credentials needed to decrypt the final file. Harper and Reeves didn't hesitate. They knew the enemy was watching, but they were done running. With fake IDs, a new rental car, and Benjamin in a duffel bag designed for service dogs, they hit the road. But when they got there, the unit was already open, the laptop gone. Only one thing remained on the floor, a sticky note. Reading again. Took the bait. Now run. Dove had gone silent. After the Yakima trap, she sent only one message before disappearing again. The laptop was stolen by someone invited to the Grove Summit party in L.A. I don't know who, but they'll be there tonight. That laptop holds the final file, and if they unlock it, it's over. The Grove Summit wasn't just any party. It was the party, an annual influencer gala where YouTubers, musicians, ex-reality stars, and brand icons came to parade status. No press allowed. Phones tagged with trackers, and every corner monitored by them. Harper had to get in. May worked her magic from behind the scenes. Within 24 hours, Harper had a full disguise. Dyed hair, stage makeup, and a fake invite as Addison Pierce, a Gen Z wellness micro-influencer from Portland. Don't say too much. Smile. Nod. You're there to blend, not trend, May said. Benjamin, meanwhile, had his own disguise, vest, harness, glasses. He looked like an emotional support dog straight from Hollywood Hills. How do I look? Harper asked, inspecting herself in the mirror. Reeves didn't even blink. Like someone who charges $50 for a green juice. You'll fit in just fine. The Grove Summit was held at a rooftop mansion in the hills above L.A., glowing with gold light, trap beats, and clinking glasses. Influencers strutted around in couture fits, air-kissing people they couldn't stand. Harper scanned every face. Colin Trask was there. So was Lydia Skye, the model who used to date Tara's ex. But then she saw him, Ezra Jett, ex-Hype House vlogger turned luxury minimalist. He had posted a video 2 weeks earlier denying any connection to Tara, but Dove had flagged him in her notes. That's him, Harper whispered. Ezra was holding a sleek gray laptop, the exact model Dove described. Reeves was parked a few blocks away, listening through Harper's mic. You need to clone the laptop's drive. The signal jammer, May Rigged, will give you 3 minutes max plug in the drive I gave you, and let the software do the rest. And if he notices? Then we go to Plan B. What's Plan B? Don't let him notice. To get to Ezra, Harper needed a way in, so she improvised. She accidentally knocked over a $300 bottle of organic agave tonic right next to him. Ugh! Oh my God, I'm so sorry, she gasped, blotting it with her sleeve. Ezra turned annoyed until he saw Benjamin. Wait, is that Benjamin Button? Harper froze. He recognized the dog. No, it's my ESA, Bark Wahlberg, she stammered. No, Ezra laughed. Tara's dog had that face. I swear identical. She smiled nervously and handed him a napkin. Here, my apology. Can I buy you another drink? 10 minutes later, Ezra left his laptop unattended on a poolside table as he flirted with a model on the balcony. Harper struck. She slid into the seat, popped the flash drive into the USB slot, and tapped the hidden cloning app. It beeped once, then again. Then, 2 minutes remaining. Sweat beaded her forehead. One of Ezra's friends started walking over. She panicked, slid her phone next to the screen to block the blinking light. Hey, are you using Ezra's laptop? The guy asked. Oh, yeah, he asked me to queue up his playlist. Cool. Just don't open the crypto stuff. He gets weird. Harper forced a laugh. Me too. It's all blockchain-splaining to me. The drive finished just as Ezra turned to look. Harper unplugged and slipped it under Benjamin's vest. Hey, what's up? He asked, sitting beside her. Just queued your set, she said. Figured you needed the vibe. Thanks, Addison. You're a real one. He paused. We met before. Nope, she lied. Weird. You remind me of someone. Like from online. Must be the filter, she said, standing. Gotta hit the restroom. She walked fast. Never looked back. Back in the safe car with Reeves, she inserted the clone drive. May decrypted it remotely. The file was labeled contract_real_takedown_compilation_final.mp4. They opened it. Footage from secret meetings. Video calls between entertainment lawyers, offshore brokers, and publicists. Lists of female celebrities, ranked by scandal potential. And in the middle of it all, Taylor Swift. Circled. Targeted. Over and over again. But she wasn't the only one. Zendaya. Dua Lipa. Olivia Rodrigo. Dozens more. They weren't just trying to smear Taylor. They were building an entire blackmail empire, with influencer pawns doing the dirty work. As Harper stared at the screen, sick to her stomach, her phone buzzed again. A text from Dove. You did it. Upload it to the Dead Drop site. But something was off. The text was from her old number, the one she lost in the forest. She turned to Reeves. How could she text this number? No one has it. Reeves' eyes went wide. It's not Dove. Too late. The car screeched to a halt as a black SUV blocked the road. The door flung open. Ezra. I knew it was you. Ezra shoved Harper into the SUV. Benjamin barked, snapping wildly. A hand reached for him, but Reeves tackled the man from behind. Go, Harper. Reeves shouted. Harper kicked out of Ezra's grip and bolted, Benjamin sprinting at her side. They tore through an alley, ducked a chain-link fence, and vanished into the night. But the damage was done. They knew who she was now, and they wanted her silenced. May rerouted Harper to a hidden safe house above Echo Park, a two-bedroom unit owned by an ex-journalist turned whistleblower. Inside, boarded windows, 3 locks on every door, burner laptops, and a shelf full of conspiracy books with real-life footnotes. May appeared on video chat. We decrypted another file from a clone. It's not just blackmail, it's a framework. For what? Harper asked. Coordinated defamation, manufactured paparazzi events, anonymous tip cycles. They create the downfall, then profit off the redemption arc. That's how they took down Tara. May nodded, and they're trying it with Taylor now. An email hit Harper's inbox. Subject: Live in 72 hours, the final fall of Taylor Swift. A private YouTube link. Unlisted. Scheduled. They were going to release the smear campaign and blame it all on leaked sources. Harper knew what that meant. Manipulated footage, altered clips, and AI voice statements that sounded real enough to ruin reputations. But someone still had the master key. The origin file. The raw footage. The truth. And Dove had said, someone who was at the Grove party has it. Only one name remained unchecked, Kellen Rhodes. Kellen was a rising actor, TikTok famous, soft boy aesthetic, and best friends with Ezra. But Dove had flagged one odd detail. He never posted his own captions. His PR team handled everything. Reeves pulled some strings and tracked his driver's route. He's staying at the La Mariposa compound. Ultra-private. Gated. We'll never get in, Harper said. Reeves smirked. Not unless we go as staff. The next morning, Harper dressed as a housekeeper. Benjamin wore a small camera embedded in his bow tie. Reeves posed as the catering lead, wheeling in trays of overpriced hors d'oeuvres. Inside La Mariposa was every influencer fantasy. Pink marble floors, infinity pools, LED-lit bathtubs, and rented Lamborghinis that hadn't moved in weeks. Harper slipped upstairs. Kellen's door was unlocked. Inside, a silver suitcase. A laptop. A thumb drive in a velvet pouch. She reached for it. "Don't," said a voice behind her. Kellen stood in the doorway, arms crossed. He didn't look surprised. He looked relieved. "You're Harper, aren't you?" "How do you know that?" "Because Dove told me you'd come." Harper froze. "You know Dove?" Kellen walked in, closed the door, and locked it. "I am Dove." "Wait, what? Dove isn't a girl?" Harper asked. "Dove is a team," Kellen said. "Started by my sister, Tara." Harper's knees buckled. "Tara is alive?" Kellen nodded. "She faked her death. We staged it. To escape them. She's in hiding, helping expose everything from behind the firewall." Harper staggered back. "Why me?" "Because you helped Benjamin," he said. "And because you're one of the few people left with nothing to gain and everything to lose. That makes you dangerous to them." Kellen opened the laptop. On screen, the real file. The undoctored clips. The raw audio of the truth creators scheming how to smear Taylor, Tara, and a dozen others. "If we leak this wrong, they'll spin it. Bury it. Blame it on deepfakes," Kellen warned. "So what do? We go big. One chance. One shot. And only one person can narrate it. Taylor herself." With May's help, they routed a message to Tree Payne, Taylor's publicist. Encrypted. Verified. Risky. But the reply came in less than an hour. "She's in." Taylor wanted to speak. On her terms. Through her own voice. Live. Harper stood on the roof of the safe house, Benjamin curled beside her, his chin resting on her sneaker. The city buzzed below. But the quiet up here felt like standing on the edge of history. May's voice buzzed in her earpiece. "All systems are green. The backup node is buried in the blockchain. If they try to take down the stream, it'll mirror to over 900 domains." "What about trolls?" Harper asked. "Already deploying mod bots. And let's just say Swifties have been alerted." Harper smiled. For the first time in days, she felt a sliver of hope. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The world was watching. A nondescript channel, named its Speak Now Project, went live. Within 3 minutes, over 10,000 viewers had joined. Then Taylor Swift appeared on screen. No makeup, no lighting, just a sweatshirt, a chair, and a flickering candle behind her. "Hi, it's me. And this isn't a performance. For years, certain people have tried to control the way I'm seen. They've manufactured conflict, sold lies, and orchestrated chaos, not just with me, but with many of your favorite artists, influencers, and creators. And now, thanks to some brave people and one incredible dog, the truth is coming out." She gestured off-screen. Harper stepped into frame, and beside her Benjamin, tail wagging. May triggered the download link. Within moments, the raw evidence went live. Video of Ezra and Reeves discussing synthetic paparazzi attacks. Audio of cancel scripts being assigned to creators before scandals occurred. Contracts showing influencer buyouts tied to silence clauses. Kellen's raw footage from the Grove party played next, revealing the moment Tara confronted the group, shouting, "You're not gods. You're gossip dealers with better lighting." The crowd went insane. Hashtag #ExposeedMachine started trending globally in under 15 minutes. Hashtag #ThankYouBenjamin trended higher. But the machine wasn't idle. The influencers fought back, claiming deep fakes, calling it a deranged fan stunt, and even doxing Harper. Her phone lit up with anonymous threats. Her school principal got an email accusing her of felony hacking. A lawyer called her mother claiming pending litigation. But then something wild happened. Overnight, TikTok exploded with reactions. Makeup influencers weeping mid-contour. Teachers defending Harper in classroom videos. Dog lovers sharing clips of Benjamin with tags like #BestBoy and #SwiftySecurity. Even Selena Gomez posted, "Proud of the truth. Proud of Taylor. Proud of Harper." It didn't stop there. Congresswoman Perez tweeted, "If even half of this is real, we need hearings." Immediately. Then the final twist dropped. A video uploaded by a Dove Return showed Tara, alive, smiling, and holding up today's newspaper. "They tried to erase me. You remembered me instead. Thank you for believing the truth when the lies were louder." By morning, Reeves testified to federal agents. Ezra's mansion was raided. PR firms implicated in the conspiracy lost multimillion-dollar contracts. And Harper, she was invited onto every major show, but declined all. "The story was never about me," she said. "It was about telling the truth when no one else would." 3 weeks later, Taylor invited Harper to her Nashville studio. Just the two of them. A quiet moment. And Benjamin, proudly wearing a sparkly collar. Taylor handed her a small box. Inside, a custom guitar pick engraved with Truth Tuner. "You reminded me why I write music in the first place," she said, "and why I stopped listening to people who only know how to break things. You saved my name." Harper smiled. Benjamin saved me. And yet, as Harper flew back to L.A., something on her phone caught her eye. A new channel. No posts. No followers. Just a name. At Ghost Frame Network. And a tagline. "You stopped one machine, but we built the rest." Benjamin growled at the screen. Harper put her phone down. This wasn't over. 1 month later, Harper was back home. The news cycle had mostly moved on, at least publicly. But under the surface, things were shifting. PR firms filed bankruptcy. A congressional hearing was scheduled to investigate synthetic media manipulation. A new Netflix docuseries about Tara's resurrection was announced. The girl who disappeared twice. And Benjamin? He'd gone viral again. Now dubbed the Truth Hound. He'd been awarded a ceremonial badge by the LAPD and made a surprise cameo at a Taylor Swift concert in L.A. wearing tiny headphones. But Harper couldn't rest. Because someone was watching. Return of the Clone. May called late at night. The clone system, it's back online. What? Harper sat up. Not the old network. A new version. Based on synthetic memory replications. AI-generated simulations of people's private thoughts. How could they even get that? May didn't answer. But then she said something that chilled Harper. Check the clone file metadata. Last access wasn't from the machine. Then who? You. Harper froze. The memory harvest. It all began to make sense. The clone hadn't just stored blackmail or predictions. It learned from them. It had watched Harper every step of the way, learning how people trusted her, how they rallied around her dog, how truth beat spectacle. And now, it was replicating that, but not with her, with someone new. Harper's burner phone vibrated. A DM. No sender ID. Just a link to a live stream. She clicked. It was someone talking about her story, but it wasn't Harper. Same haircut, same dog, same timeline, but it was synthetic. A digital influencer named Mara Spark, an AI activist now getting booked on shows, praised by millions, and selling merch. They had cloned Harper's entire truth and turned it into a brand they could control. Kellen met Harper at a quiet diner outside Burbank. He slid her a flash drive. Tara sent this. One last gift. It was the original source code for the clone machine. If you destroy it, he said, they can't make more of you. But if I leak it, Harper trailed off. Then you put power in the hands of the people. Or maybe in the wrong ones. Harper stared at the screen. One button, delete. The other, upload. Benjamin barked. Not once, but twice. Sharp, insistent. Harper smiled. She reached into her bag and pulled out the flash drive, then stood, walked over to the old jukebox, and slipped the drive behind the panel. She didn't delete it. She didn't upload it. She hid it. 3 years later, a new name trended, Mara Spark's origin debunked. An anonymous blog had unearthed the truth that her real story was scripted and fed into an AI. The original source? A teenager named Harper Steele, and a dog named Benjamin. The blog went viral, but Harper didn't respond. She was busy, traveling, helping kids who'd been silenced by viral spin machines, writing stories, not for clout, not for followers, but for truth. And Benjamin, still at her side, still wearing that same sparkly collar from Taylor Swift, still sniffing out the lies. And the jukebox. One night, a kid walked into that diner. He was curious, smart, a little too online. He pushed play on an old jukebox, and it glitched. For a second, just a second, the screen showed a file directory. Clone machine _ truth source _ v1.0 zip. Then it vanished. But the kid saw it, and he smiled. Guess the story's not over. The end. Like the story? Subscribe for more mysteries that start small and end with a twist. Drop a dog face if you think Benjamin deserves his own series. New stories weekly, only on Haven Tales.